Hi, good morning, Vincent.
Hello, Tim. Good morning. I was just on the phone for a moment, but I suppose you understand that.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So, thank you for talking to me this morning.
No problem. It's always a pleasure to do that with the Erasmus guys. I don't see you. Where is your sophisticated webcam?
I don't have a sophisticated webcam.
Oh, come
Or I have
on.
one, but it doesn't work. Sorry.
Oh, God. This is a disappointment in the innovation power of...
I'm sorry about that.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll live with that. Let me see. Let me get your questions, which you had with there. Are you a freelancer or are you working for Erasmus?
No, I'm freelance. I just work for them on the RSM Outlook, which is only 2 times a year, so it's not quite enough to pay a full-time wage.
No, I believe you. Okay. I am recording this conversation. Do you want after that I send you the file so that you can listen back if you need anything?
Yeah, that would be perfect because I am writing things on paper, but sometimes I write so fast that I can't actually read what I've written afterwards. So to avoid confusion, that would be great if you could send that.
Yeah, you get the file, and so you can do whatever you want with that.
Great, thanks a lot.
Okay, you had some questions. Let me see. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, education. Okay, so I'll just start. So I am a trend watcher. I basically look at I'm by nature somebody who I studied physics, I studied economics, I studied political science, and then I ended up with business bedrijfskunde, as we call it, business school, which was the most fantastic business school ever because it basically got a lot of people from with a background of mathematics, with economics, with physics, all kinds of different backgrounds, and they basically only had a 2.5 year getting together, which I think is the best way to organize a business school.
Yeah.
And so I have a broad interest, anything from technology to political to economics, and that's I've been like that all my life. Currently I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a trend watcher, so I have a number of companies, and I basically specialize in watching technology trends and seeing how that change the way we work, live, do politics, educate our people, do healthcare, and basically in a broad sense how it changes society. I am married. I have 2 children of 2.5 and 5 years, and that is the most amazing time-intensive gadgets I've ever had. I mean, people ask me, how do I have money to buy any gadget I want? Well, nothing compares to kids as gadgets because they cost so much time, life, freedom, and that kind of stuff. And they're also very complex. They are a hell of a lot more difficult to manage than all the gadgets I've used, because they tend to call me Mr. Gadget because I always take new gadgets when they come out and I do reviews, and I'm a video blogger. I do about 250 videos a year. You can see them on baldopinions.com. I don't know if you see that. You saw that thing?
I haven't seen that one yet, no.
Well, let me see. Didn't I send you? Yeah. You sent. Yeah. You see that in my signature. You see my presentations. You can find on baldopinions.com and SlideShare, blah blah blah. So those are my presentations. So I'm a public speaker. I do a lot of public speaking for all kinds of anything from board of directors to middle management and to big clients in the business sector. And I do a lot with video, so you can see my presentations online in English and in Dutch, and also my slides are online. I basically share as much as I can. I do hundreds of videos where I interview all kinds of people, from Gerard Kleisterlee from Philips to politicians to technology gurus. And everything is online. My whole life is online. If you follow me on Twitter, you can pretty much follow my life, or on LinkedIn or on Facebook or anything. So I try. I'm an open book. Next to that, I am a entrepreneur. I have a company called Innovator.nl, which does things like corporate porting. If Philips goes from Vodafone to from KPN to Vodafone, they use my tools to move these 50,000 people from A to B.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a business service. I have a company called Yubby, Y-U-B-B-Y.
Yeah.
And you can basically create your own video channel on the internet. So that's used by 100,000 different people, including Sony and Buienradar, which is a Dutch phenomenon, and a bunch of other companies. So basically, I'm in the video management service, and I'm a trend watcher. Those are a little bit my things.
How do you find the time for all of this?
And I don't work much at all anymore, because since I have a kid of 2.5 and 5, it takes me a lot of time. And my wife is
I understand that. Yeah.
My wife is a sort of a professor, and she's teaching parenting in the hogeschool, and she is very, very, very busy. So I spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time with the kids. So I've organized my life with things like this, like my BlackBerry. All my services are in the cloud. I can do anything, be anywhere, and I can be involved in all the projects. You can think of. My latest project, which will interest maybe you, is called leaveplan.nl. Let me see, I will chat with you for a second. Chat. Where is my chat window? Chat. Where is the chatting feature? Oh, here. www.leaveplan.nl. That is my electric car, which is going to be delivered in 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to reduce my footprint with 80%. Society needs to do it, and I'm trying to do the same thing. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to change from an extraordinary, ugly diesel car, a Chrysler Voyager, to a Nissan Leaf electric car, which has a radius of about 100 kilometers, effectively, on the highway. And I'm going to see how it is to be on the bleeding edge with electric cars. And so life is going to be very exciting. And this car, the website of the car is there. You can see the website of the car. You can see where I am driving. You can see who I'm interviewing. It will be an interview studio. There will be 3 cameras in that car. And you can, and I'm going to have hundreds of people driving in that electric car to see how it feels to drive an electric car. Because I can tell you, the thing drives amazing. It's a fantastic experience. It's just everything about radius. And so you can see, I'm interviewing people like I do now, but I'm now going to put them in an electric car. We're going to drive around, and I'm interviewing them in the meantime about what they're doing, anything they have specialty going on, but also about sustainability, what they think of electric driving, how they're doing it in personal life, how they're changing their company, what they see for the future. So I'm going to do hundreds of interviews about electric driving, sustainability, and their own thing. And so the thing I do now, and I'm interviewing everybody in the office, I'm going to do that in my car, and I'm going to show people how it is to drive an electric car, what the feeling is, and to be a little bit of an ambassador, because I think that computers were really exciting in 1984 when I got out of business school, and every year was exciting. Now I think the whole energy sector and the electric car and anything with sustainability is going to be exciting for the next 10 years, because every year it's going to change dramatically. Yeah. I mean, for example, a battery is now $800 per kilowatt hour. You can drive 8 kilometers with it. In 3 years, that battery will cost $300. So the prices of batteries will go down 3 times. And an electric car is about the efficiency of an engine of a normal gasoline engine is about 18%. And if you take the whole chain of making electricity with coal to the car, the efficiency is about 2.5 times as much. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna be very much busy with this project and promote the whole idea about sustainability and driving. And I'm gonna use every kind of social media, video communication styles I can do with it. So that's the third project I'm doing. Okay. And still I'm doing all these things. And thanks to technology, I can be very flexible. I can be spending a hell of a lot of time with kids. I never have an appointment before 10. I never am in gridlock, and I make more money than ever. before.
Great.
So that's question number one. Is that a good introduction?
I think that's.
No, I have also.
That's pretty much question number two as well. I think.
Well,
that's
how I
started.
I basically after business school. No, not after. During business school, I started a company doing automating. I'm a dropout. I'm a college dropout. I didn't make my bedrijfskunde exam.
Okay.
So it was really interesting. The fact that I'm talking to you was because of a professor of mine died, and I went to his funeral. And because I was a dropout, I never was involved in anything with the alumni. And I said, hey, I really don't like that because, I might be a dropout, but I mean, bedrijfskunde and business school was really important to me. So they put me on the list. So now I'm basically I'm back into, I now get invitations and I go there from time to time. But during business school, I started my first company with a bunch of friends, and we did industrial automation, network automation. And we had, within a year, we had like 15 people or 20 people working. And I did that for 5 years, and I installed networks when PCs were just coming out. Networking, computer-aided design, and that was called CYCO, CYCO.com.
Yeah.
And I did that for 5 years. Then I went to America, and I started I started a software company called Document Management. So, and people had networks, but who was making what? Who made what document? And I sold hundreds of thousands of copies of my document management software. And that was about 100 people when I was about 70 people when I left. There are about 100 people now. So I did that for 5 years. Then I became president then I started Media Plaza. I'll spell that for you. I'll spell everything for you. www.cyco.com, www.mediaplaza.com. That was when the internet started. Of course, you can see all this stuff on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But when the internet started, I basically was asked to start a demonstration center for management about what the internet meant for business. So that's in Utrecht. It's still a big center. And we basically educated anybody from the Queen to the board of directors from Heineken and ABN AMRO. We educated them in a number of inspirational sessions about what does the internet mean for business. And later that became mobile. So I did that for 5 years. Then I worked for Roel Pieper as a venture capitalist, venture partner. So I basically invested in companies, did that for a while. And then I basically worked inside the government, because there was a plan to put every car in the Netherlands, to give it a little box, put a little box in there, which would pay taxes per kilometer instead of paying per year, and that's called kilometer heffing. So I worked for a year and a half on a program to put 8 million cars in the Netherlands with a little box, so that they would pay per kilometer, and that they also would do navigation and find parking spots. So I basically had a chance to see how government functions. And then I basically, after that, started a consultancy company called Interimic, which about 20 people, which did all kinds of innovative company. I advised, I consulted, and then I said, okay, that's enough. And then I started this company, and this company, Innovator, and this company, Corporate Porting.com. And it's so interesting. Now you can start companies, have people in India doing programming, having people doing marketing all over the world. You have fantastic communication possibilities. You can start companies now at 1/10 of the cost and be much faster in how you accomplish things. And I have less, so now I'm doing much more projects. I'm involved in a lot of things, and I have more free time than ever, and I make more money than ever, and I make more people happy than ever. So it's this technology stuff, this flexibility, this being able to work with whoever I want, whenever I want, with on moments that I want, with intelligent people everywhere is really fantastic. So that's why I love this stuff. Okay, so I told you I never completed the study, so it was interesting. I had 7 weeks or 8 weeks to go when I basically started my first company. So then I did 5 years and I built a company, and I never had time to finish it. Then I went back for 2 weeks, and I go, oh my God, I don't like this. And I went to America and stayed there for 5 years. After 10 years, I came back. And I spent a year on back in the university to finish my study because I was convinced I needed to do this. I wrote a thesis. I made a fantastic estimating model for SAP implementations. That was it was called the Power estimating model, and that's used by Origin. I did that for Origin. Bezo Origin, and they use that for this tool. They use it everywhere, all over the world, to make quotations. But I never, and then I never finished my. But I had to write my thesis, and I had to do one or two little things. And before I ended up, I became director of Media Plaza, and that was that promotion center for the internet, that evangelizing center. So I never finished it there. So I've been totally busy for a period of about 15 years. I've been busy trying to finish my study at Erasmus, and I never did. So I'm the longest dropout ever.
Sounds good. Do you actually have any plans ever to finish, or have you?
No, it's gone.
Is that now for bye?
It's gone for bye. Yeah, I'm 51. I think I can survive without a diploma.
I think after this time you get the idea. Yeah.
And my parents, my mother died last year, and she really thought it was the biggest waste. She was the only one who really cared. And Professor van Nuenen. Every time so he was the guy, which was my favorite. So I had Professor van Nuenen, who was a fantastic professor. And Peter Vervest, I don't know if you know him. I don't know if you need his name. But these two were always saying, "Come on, finish it." No, but I never did. So that was. So I come to terms with being a dropout. I see it now as something to be proud of. And looking back, I wish I'd finished the first 6 weeks. That would be nice. But on the other hand, it was really great to go back after 10 years, to go back and to sit in the school, to sit in the school banks, into the classes with students when I was 35 or something like that. It was really fun. But I would have done. I don't regret it. And the greatest thing about RSM was that I met so many people with so many different backgrounds. You know, the background thing. I mean, is that now with business school too? That you have all these different background things.
Yes.
Yeah. So sure. That is so great to meet people from politics, people from economics, people from languages, people from Chinese, people from all kinds of different people, and then basically share your experience and go through new theory and new practice. That was the core of what I've appreciated in bedrijfskunde, and that is basically how RSM is done. So I really thought that was a fantastic period.
Yeah. So I'm writing furiously here.
Fine, you can always listen. And I'm a gadget man. Yes, I love gadgets, but 99% of the gadgets I don't like because they don't function. But 1% of the gadget I'm really enthusiastic. You know, I have a Segway. I 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I don't know how long, I was one of the first people who used the BlackBerry. I'm enthusiastic about ebooks already 10 years. So I've always tried. Mobile phones, smartphones. I'm trying now the electric car. I'm trying things out. And when the experience are negative, I don't talk about it, and when they are positive, I talk about it. So
that's fair enough,
yeah. But for me, gadgets are more a symbol of how it can penetrate society. You know, it's just like. PCs are a gadget, but they've changed the way we work, and now mobile makes everything so much more flexible, and it allows you to have so much more trust in how you can be in projects, how you can be everywhere, even more than PCs, and that in 2014 mobile internet is bigger than the desktop internet, and that that it penetrates all kinds of the developing countries. I think it's those. So gadgets are nice, but what they cause and how they cause the way we change our life. That is the most interesting thing. But
yeah.
A lot of people like my role as gadget man. And if I make a movie about a gadget, if I review the iPad or a new Motorola Zoom, it's always watched much more than if I interview Gerard Kleijsterlee about the influence of social media on Philips. That's a lot of people are less interested in that, but that's normally how I talk about things.
Okay.
And do I have big plans in the future? No, I don't have any big plans in the future. I am for the next couple of years. I'm busy until the kids.
Busy being a father.
Being a father, and my whole goal is to do nice projects with smallest companies as possible. The more people you have in a company, the more pain in the neck it becomes. So we have very, very lean and mean companies who do more and more and more stuff together and in networks. And I'm trying to work the least possible hours and have, on the other hand, the most interesting experience. So I have no ambition at all to build a big company. A big company is the biggest nightmare ever. I mean, every time I come in big companies, you have intelligent people with a lot of budget who are psychologically damaged because their biggest enemy is always the company itself and not the outside world. So I have no big is not my ambition in that thing. My role is my goal is to have an influence in the way that people can make their life better and more interesting, and that they can accomplish things, but with the least possible amount of organizational luggage as possible.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, I think I've got quite a lot to work for then. It's going to take me most of today to get things sorted out and put into a readable draft for you. But tomorrow sometime, would you have time if I send you my draft to take a quick look? And
sure, put it in the email. Put it in the email itself. Just copy and paste it in the email.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm sending you now the file, so you can just see if you need it or not. It's called WeTransfer, and that's just a way to get a file.
Somebody sent me a file through that yesterday, so I know how it works.
Right. Okay.
Great. Well, thanks very much for your time.
You're so welcome.
Okay. I'll send you what I have tomorrow.
Okay. Who are any other articles which are going to be in the same paper? I've never seen that whole paper, or never seen that magazine.
Well, I'm doing one on Hope, it's an organisation for promoting entrepreneurs, Holland promoting entrepreneurs, but that's within Erasmus.
Cool. All right.
And beyond that, I don't know because I'm not writing them.
Alrighty. Hey, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Bye, Tim. Bye.
Bye-bye.